Hi, I'm Dr. Hanate Wokusosi Teriyaki Suzuki Honda Civic, and I'm here to talk about David Livingston, a doctor, an explorer, a discoverer, a philanthropist, who did much for humanity, and most of all, a great missionary hero, who gave his life for Africa to help them to know Christ. David Livingston was born on March 19, 1813, in Blantyre, Scotland. His poor parents were Neil and Agnes Livingston. His family was so poor that he was taken from school at the age of 10 to work in a cotton mill. During his childhood, his father Neil tried to make him read nothing but theology because he was afraid that science would be undermining Christianity. At 20 years old, David became an earnest Christian and he joined the London Missionary Society. He wanted to do missionary work in China, but he couldn't go because of the Opium War still going on in September 1839. The Opium War shut him out of China, where he had thought to go. While waiting, he met Dr. Robert Moffat, who was interested in work in Africa where no missionary had ever been. David heard him plead for Africa and decided to go with him because he was against slavery. His parents consented gladly because his father is a man with a missionary's heart in him. David arrived in July 1841 at Dr. Moffat's missionary station as the first missionary who ever came into this region. He kept on exploring, telling of Jesus wherever he went. In 1844, while setting up the mission at Botswa among the Katla people, he was mauled by a lion. Although he survived the attack, his arm was partially disabled and caused him pain for the rest of his life. On January 2, 1845, David married Dr. Moffat's oldest daughter, Mary Moffat, and they later had 3 kids, Agnes, Robert, and Thomas. When the Kolobeg mission had to be closed because of drought, he explored the interior and became the first European to discover Victoria Falls, which he named in honor of Queen Victoria. Without knowing it, David became the first to journey across Africa, something that no European had done. Sadly, on April 27, 1862, David's wife Mary, who was now an alcoholic, died of malaria. Soon after, he was awarded a gold medal of the Royal Geographic Society of London for the geographical discoveries that he made, contributing by filling the maps in details of Lake Tanganyika, Lake Meru, and of course of many rivers, especially the upper Zambezi. His observations enabled large regions to be mapped which previously had been blank. Then he lost complete contact with the outside world for 6 years until Henry Stanley found him in October 27, 1871 in the town of Ujiji on the shore of Lake Tanganyika. Despite Stanley's urgings to come back to Europe, he was not leaving until he finished his mission. David died on May 1, 1873, at the age of 60 from malaria and internal bleeding caused by dysentery. His body was later buried at Westminster Abbey. His heart, however, is buried under a mulubla tree in Ilala, near the place he died, now the place of his memorial, because the tribal people said, "You can have his body, but his heart belongs in Africa." David Livingston was a great explorer. After his death, it led the founding of several major Central Christian missionaries. Africa became at once the favorite field for missionary enterprise of almost every denomination. There's one thing that he will be remembered for. He did it all for the love of God. Thank you.